The kids of Elm Street don't know it yet, but something is coming to get them.
There's something out there, isn't there?
We just see cuts happen.
What did that, Lieutenant?
I don't know.
What's the coroner got to say? He's in the jar and puking since he saw it.
They're gonna kill me for sure.
Did you do it?
There was somebody else there.
He was locked in a room with a girl who went in alive and came out in a rubber bag.
No one knows where it came from or who it will visit next.
Nancy? There's something wrong with you. You're imagining things.
Nightmare on...
Welcome back to the 31 Days of Spooks. My name is Dylan Goebel, and today, talking about A Nightmare on Elm Street, released in 1984. Film is directed by Wes Craven and stars Heather Langenkamp, John Saxon, Robert Englund, and of course, Johnny Depp. Film tells the story of a group of teenagers as they are being targeted by a former child killer named Freddy Krueger, who is undead and invades people's dreams. Okay, so what do I think of A Nightmare on Elm Street? This movie's a fucking classic. It is one of the best slasher films of all time. Man, 1984 was a great year for slasher flicks. Two of my favorite slasher films have come out that year. This one and Friday the 13th, The Final Chapter. This movie is awesome. This movie's got some fantastic atmosphere. It's got some great kills. It's got some awesome gore. There's lots of gore in this movie. Which is kind of amazing how this movie could get away with so much gore, but the Friday the 13th movies constantly got butchered by the MPAA. What was up with that? Anyways, yeah, this movie's fucking awesome. It's very creative. I love the dream sequences. Robert Englund is fantastic as Freddy Krueger. Even though he doesn't have a lot of screen time, seriously, if you haven't seen this film, don't expect to see a ton of Freddy Krueger. And don't expect him to be jokey. He does make a few jokes here and there when he actually has screen time. But just, if you haven't seen this movie, just know going in, you don't really see him that often. But I think all the kills, except for the last one, I think were fucking great. I mean, come on, you got the part where this chick is fucking lifted up in the air and Freddy fucking slashes her torso and there's blood everywhere. It's fucking awesome. Or Johnny Depp's death. Johnny Depp's death is the best one in the movie. Where it pretty much looks like the bed ate him and there's just a big geyser of blood just flowing everywhere. It's fucking awesome. Wes Craven directed the shit out of this movie. This movie is tightly paced. It is actually kind of scary. And the mood and the atmosphere is downright fucking perfect. This movie is a fucking awesome horror film. It's a great slasher film. It's fucking awesome. A Nightmare on Elm Street is definitely a film I recommend for any horror fan out there. If you're just getting into horror, A Nightmare on Elm Street is a great one to start with. This movie is fantastic. Definitely one of the best slasher films out there. It's got some... and also the characters. The characters are awesome too. I actually liked the characters in this film. This movie puts a lot more thought into its characters than most slasher flicks out there. It kind of reminded me of Alien. Even though Alien's a sci-fi horror, that movie has slasher elements to it, absolutely. And this movie does the same with its characters as Alien does. It actually makes you care about them. You spend some time with them in between kills. It explains why this movie doesn't really have that high of a body count. Yeah, for a slasher movie, its body count is extremely low. But this movie makes its kills count. It's fucking great. And I like the characters, and the acting's good too. That's another thing that puts this above most slasher movies. The acting is actually good. So there's that. So yeah, A Nightmare on Elm Street. Great writing, great acting, great fucking characters, awesome kills, awesome villain, perfect pacing. A Nightmare on Elm Street is a perfect slasher flick, in my opinion. Absolutely. I am giving A Nightmare on Elm Street an A+. So what did you think of A Nightmare on Elm Street? Comment below, let me know, and if you like my stuff, you can like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.